William Shakespeare's tragic play Macbeth explores the concept of how a pure person can become corrupt with the promise of greatness. Lured by the witch's prophecies of greatness and his wife's determination to seize the throne, the audience witnessed the transformation of Macbeth from hero to villain. The first we hear of Macbeth in the play is the report of a bloody soldier who describes him as brave Macbeth. Well, he deserves that name, showing the audience that he is originally a courageous and noble man. Not long after Macbeth meets the three witches who predict that Macbeth will be king, he is met with the news that King Duncan has bestowed upon him the title of Thane of Cawdor. In Act 1, Scene 3, we say how uncomfortable yet tempted he is by the witch's prophecies coming true. This is shown when he says, the supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good, which makes it clear that Macbeth is fascinated by the prophecies, but knows the witches cannot be trusted as they are from a source of evil. Further, we still see Macbeth contemplating what seems the unthinkable later in the act. If it were done, 'tis were done quickly. If thy assassination could tumble up the consequence and catch with his seize success, but that this blow might be the be-all and end-all. To the reader, it seems that Macbeth is arguing, or at least hoping, that this will be the only murder. Yet despite Macbeth's best hope, Duncan's murder isn't by any means the be-all and end-all. It is only the start. Shakespeare uses the anaesthesis to create tension by portraying conflict through the emotions and thoughts, indicating that nothing is as it seems, and that the seed of greatness is enough for Macbeth to start plotting evil deeds. Although eventually Macbeth makes the decision to murder Duncan, it is not without strong chastising from Lady Macbeth. Once Macbeth returns home after hearing the prophecy, he is determined not to murder Duncan. We will proceed no further in this business. I am his kinsman and his subject. Nevertheless, Lady Macbeth stops at nothing in driving her husband to murder Duncan. At first taunting his manliness. Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself, she scoffs. Then claiming that she would dash the brains out of their child as she undertaken to do so, forcing Macbeth to commit the evil act. Lady Macbeth's ability to become such a powerful influence in the script shows how ambitious for the throne has created a threatening and ruthless individual. In addition, on receiving the news of Duncan staying the night, she declares for the spirits to unsex me here. Stop up thy axis and pass it to remorse. Perceiving that being unsexed and inhumane are same to her, one and the same thing. She also intends to pour her own spirits in Macbeth's ear when he returns from the battle. Literally, she means that she is going to fill her husband's ear with harsh words that will help convince him to take action against Duncan. In Lady Macbeth's mind, being a woman interferes with her evil plans. Femininity means compassion and kindness, while masculinity is synonymous with duress, cruelty. Macbeth fully understands that his actions are evil, but is yet persuaded against his better judgment by Lady Macbeth. After Macbeth kills Duncan, he immediately feels remorse. I hear a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep, the innocent sleep. Yet slowly the guilt turns into terror, that the crime will be discovered. The vision of the ocean stained crimson by Duncan's assassination is too gruesome, extravagant to be true. Will all the great Nestrum's ocean be washed this blood? The multitude seas incarcade, making the green one red. However, Macbeth's coronation supper is interrupted by the gory ghost of the recent murdered Banquo. The time has been, and when the brains were out, the man would die. He becomes baffled and panicked. Heading to the three witches, they prophesy that none of the woman born shall harm Macbeth. Before leaving, he sees a sequence of Banquo's descendants stretching out. To thy crack of doom, Macbeth shouts, indicating that Macbeth's tipping point in becoming a tyrant. Macbeth no longer felt guilty, and there was nothing he could change. All he could do before he died was to drag as many lives into the abyss of evil with him. Furthermore, Shakespeare's use of symbolism is abundantly used in exemplifying the overall theme of the murder. The image of blood plays an important role of representing Macbeth's guilt and shame about this horrific crime. Hallucinations also portray the guilt he feels. He sees Macbeth become a man of war with himself, his infinite honor battling his ambition. Macbeth no longer needs the advice of Lady Macbeth, but does not hesitate in order to murder others whom he perceives may threaten his kingship.